Hello, peeps. Florian.
Yeah, former domestic abuse victim turned survivor. Well, first escapee. After escapee, one turns into a survivor, and then self-healed, and today happy camper. Clinical hypnotherapist, life coach, and I'm using a hybrid approach between life coaching on the one hand and using therapeutic techniques on the other, combine them. And this is how I help myself, and I have been helping others, and I hope I will be able to help you. If you like what you hear, if you find it useful, you know what's coming now. Not even if it's not useful for yourself, but you find it's useful for somebody else, please do share, do like, and if you can, hit the subscribe button, button. That's the German in me sometimes still, even after 29 years here in England. My God, it's never perfect. Okay, today, just briefly, I don't want to keep it too long, is the three levels of understanding. That's the topic. And I am applying it to, I'm going to give you examples from my own case when I slipped into this abusive relationship with a fully fledged narcissist. Fully fledged narcissist means a person above and beyond the point of no return, a person with narcissistic personality disorder. Right, not too many details. I would like to talk to you about the three levels of understanding, also called the three levels of learning. And you will, I give you the examples. I'm going to share the screen with you so that you know what's going on here. You can read along. I hope that helps you. Now, there are three levels of understanding. The first level one, which one could say is, on the one hand, the lowest, the most basic, and often also totally overrated one, intellectual understanding. Now, intellectual understanding is what they do with us at schools. Yeah, they cram facts into our heads. For example, I wasn't really that interested in chemistry. Um, did it ever do anything for my life that I had to learn so much chemistry? No, it didn't. Now, when you learn something intellectually, for example, you're listening to me here, so you're listening to a few things that I say and you learn it just cognitively, intellectually, it won't make much difference to your life. That's the basic truth. There's something called knowledge mastery on the one hand, and on the other hand, there's called something is self-mastery. I'm not going to delete this video. I'm not going to do this again. Why not stay natural? So knowledge mastery versus self-mastery. Now, self-mastery, since we are conscious human beings and we do have a prefrontal cortex, we also need some sort of knowledge mastery. So what you're hearing here now about narcissism, about how I slipped into it, how I learned it, if this knowledge remains on if this understanding remains on the level of intellectual understanding, you will not change your life. You will not be able to change your life because so much stronger than thoughts. I mean, thoughts are primary, thoughts are powerful, thoughts change our world, create our world, our minds, yeah, mind over matter. However, what is the turbo? The turbo blast is the emotions. Emotional understanding, the second one. Once the emotional understanding kicks in, something which your heart understands. Have you ever heard of the phrase, the heart knows? The heart knows and the mind does, or the mind calculates or thinks or whatever. The heart knows. Once you have emotional understanding of your situation, of an issue, true change, but only temporary one, is possible, only temporary. Let me give you an example. Let's go back to level number one. A smoker. Most smokers know they shouldn't smoke. I used to smoke. I know what I'm talking about. I come from life. Everything I talk about here in these videos, I have lived through. I don't tell you stuff from books. I tell you stuff from my own life. I learned it, and then through my studies, I applied the knowledge. So a smoker knows they shouldn't smoke. They can get cancer, they can get heart disease, they can get a stroke, this and that, yeah? But does that prevent most smokers from stopping to smoke? No, it does not. Not as long as the understanding remains at level one, intellectual understanding, cognitive understanding. Same with somebody in an abusive relationship. Let's say you live with somebody who you believe to be a narcissist. He or she might be a sociopath, you never know, or have another personality disorder which you don't recognize. Yeah, maybe secretly taking drugs, who knows? So let's say you're learning a few facts now about narcissism. Let's say it is a narcissist. I give you my own example. When I slipped into a relationship with that person who later became my children's mother, in the beginning, I was just baffled by how much I called her a taker. She was taking. She was just taking things. She was expecting me to pay, expecting me to. When I invited her, I wined her, dined her, cooked for her, and she was a taker. I always thought to myself, "Gosh, she's a taker, and I'm a giver." That was the level of my understanding. Now, then, after a while, when more things were added to it, like cheating, outright betrayal, lying, gaslighting, the whole paradigm of narcissistic abuse, I started to educate myself. I learned what a narcissistic personality disorder was, how these abuse patterns manifest themselves. And I realized that she was a fully fledged narcissist because she ticked all the boxes. And I compared it with sociopathy and other personality disorders. Um, it took me a long time. Now, here is the crux of the matter. I educated myself, I learned, and I did that for years. But that understanding remained on the first level. It was intellectual, cognitive understanding. I, I mean, to some extent, it helped me because the world became a little bit clearer to me. I understood more where she was coming from. I understood more what was happening and why, the how, the what, the why, the why, the how, the what, the why, the two, three most important questions. Yeah, just this on the side: how, what, and why, or why, what, and how. However, it did not initially change my emotional understanding. Now I'm coming back. I'm going back to the smoker now to make it really clear. Now, the smoker who does not stop doesn't stop smoking because he or she they know, yeah, I shouldn't do it, but they're still feeling good. And oh, I enjoy my morning cigarette, especially with the first coffee in the morning, or in the evening when we go out with the mates, the first cigarette with the first cold beer, yummy, yummy, yummy. As I said, I was there decades ago. Yeah, I did that. I know what I'm talking about. Right. Now comes the day where this is actually based on a true event. I heard this from my mentor, who is a world famous life coach. Um, somebody, a smoker, had I have forgotten now whether it was chronic or acute bronchitis, but he was rushed off into the hospital with the ambulance. As I'm not a medic, so it doesn't really matter to me. He bronchitis. To the hospital where the doctor then told him, look, if you'd had the other form of bronchitis, this severe bout, you would be dead by now. We couldn't have saved you. And if you keep on smoking, you will die very soon, maybe even get a stroke, whatever. So what did that guy do? Threw away his cigarette, stop smoking. After a day or so, he was released from the hospital, maybe 3 days, who knows? I don't remember that. Goes back home. 4 weeks later, his mate, one of his mates, who is actually my life coach mentor, my life coach, goes to visit him. And what did he see? And what does he see? The guy has started smoking again. Yeah. One beautiful evening, after he had felt better for a few days or for a week or so, the fear, the shock of nearly dying had left him. Yeah, the emotional understanding. And I'm now jumping the gun, but I'm gonna continue the story first. And he started smoking again. because he went out with his mates. They went out to their old bar. They had alcohol. They drank. His mates smoked. So he had one, then he had two. Next day, he bought himself a pack again because he wanted to, he didn't just want to scrounge cigarettes. And what does this tell us? Now I'm coming back to level two, the emotional understanding. Emotional understanding, when this guy was in hospital and he was told that he nearly died, could have died, the emotional understanding kicked in. The intellectual understanding that smoking kills went on to the next higher level, emotional understanding, and he stopped smoking for a brief period. This is because emotions have a very short-lived lifespan. Actually, one emotion, when the chemicals are dumped into the bloodstream, is then a biochemical reaction in your blood, and the chemicals go to all the cells in your body, or to most of them, depends on which tissues they go to. That's how we feel anger. That's how we feel love. That's how we feel stress, upset. Yes. Um, this emotional understanding doesn't last very long. There is no lasting effect. It does affect change, but not forever. Now, level three. So let me just give an example with the emotional understanding with you being in a narcissistic relationship or in an abusive relationship with a narcissist, as it happened to me. The emotional understanding comes after you've gathered a few facts and okay, I'm being abused here. This isn't right. I'm being gaslit here. He or she is ghosting me. There's outright betrayal, control behavior, always belittling me, emotional blackmail, what have you. You are now sophisticated enough to put words and concepts to it. You understand your situation. There's some sort of clarity, theoretical, intellectual clarity. And now the upset comes. I mean, a real upset, a real bang understanding in your head. I've got to leave. I need to leave here. Now, this can affect temporary change. You might leave. Now, the problem is the narcissist won't let go that easily, or a sociopath, whatever their interest is. Yeah. They need you. They need a victim. And then you give in. Not all of you, but many do. One feels guilt. Narcissists are very good at turning the tables, yeah, making you feel guilty, making you take the blame. One feels guilt, one feels so relieved. Oh, he is actually quite nice, or she is quite nice, and my gosh, maybe we can make it work. It's a little bit like the Stockholm syndrome as well, what that when that prisoners exhibit, making excuses for their captures is very similar to trauma bonding. Yeah, your trauma bonding is a literally a physical, psychological addiction, actually. Right. Let me go to this. Then this emotional understanding, your initial emotion, this burst, this I need to save myself. It recedes after a while. And then you can get caught again. Or you stay, or you go back. Now I go to level three now, and this is the understanding. This is the level of learning, the level of understanding you need to fully take in what I'm telling you here now. What I'm telling you actually now at the moment has to do something with intellectual understanding, but it needs to go up to your emotional, incorporate it into your emotional understanding. And then the third one is the identity level. This understanding with your whole being. And understanding with your whole being means, I'm going to repeat myself here, I said that before. You must have heard this. The heart knows. The mind does, or the mind thinks, or calculates, whatever. What you need to have are two things. The heart, which knows anyway, needs to be in alignment with your mind, which now has absolute clarity. Then the initial intellectual cognitive understanding that you found some theoretical clarity gets turbo blasted by your emotional understanding, this shock, this fear, the anger. Anger, To free yourself, anger can be a very, very, very good source of energy. Afterwards, you have to learn how to let go of the anger. So, and then when you realize that you need to escape, and you do escape, and you become a survivor, a true free survivor, then this can only happen when your heart and mind are in congruency, are in alignment, and this is where your identity shift occurs. And before that identity shift occurs, you are not free yet. And it is awfully difficult, and it can take an awfully long time. It can take years. However, the more help you get, the better people you have around you and support, the quicker you learn to trust people again, the more you're helping yourself, and the more you're balancing out your body chemistry, your emotions. So, and this is the same with the smoker, level 3, the identity shift. Let's say dad used to smoke, knew smoking was bad for him. That was intellectual understanding. Level 2, he nearly died. He got a shot, stopped smoking for a few days or weeks, and started smoking again. But then his little daughter sees that he started smoking and goes to him, desperate, gets really brave, slaps the cigarette out of his hand. Daddy is shell-shocked. She embraces him. Just imagine she's 10 years older. So she says, Daddy, Daddy, I don't want you to die. I want you to, I really, when I get married, I want you to walk me down the aisle in church. And she's cries, and then she turns around and she races away into her own room and she bangs the door shut. And Daddy is still standing there, shocked. And then he stops smoking because his role and identity as a father takes over and deplaces his identity as a smoker. And this is where it all comes together. The theoretical intellectual knowledge together with the emotional understanding, this emotional turbo blast, which can give you power, but which on its own does not last forever. And then you will slip back unless you get to level 3, the heart-mind congruency, heart-mind alignment, where the heart and the brain work together, where the clarity in your head is supported by your heart. And that is called, well, heart-mind congruency, alignment. So I do hope that helped you a little bit. It is a life coaching lesson. Together, it's not really that there was no therapy involved here, but that's life coaching lesson as I learned it. However, applied especially to a narcissistic, to an abusive relationship with a narcissist, or any other kind of abusive relationship. Last but not least, I just want to report one question which I had in my Facebook group. You can find me on Facebook, Escaping Narcissism, Healing from Emotional Trauma. Please subscribe. There's another more free content which I just post. It's just in writing there. Somebody asked the question, can I heal while still staying with my narc? It's this phrase, what still victims, and that's this whole phrase. Can I heal while staying with my narc? This is it. Oh, gosh, one needs to help people. My narc, first, language matters. My narc, my dad, my dog, my daughter, my health. Yeah, this close relationship, language matters. Stop calling your abusers mine. Yeah, okay, they are. He or she is my abuser or was, but this my narc, it gives you far too close. It gives them power over you. Stop that, please. So I said, no, obviously you can't heal whilst you're still with your abuser. You know, you're in a snake pit, and I apologize to the snakes. and all other animals for these animal metaphors. If you are in a snake pit with lots of venomous snakes and they bite you, and you can't heal, can you? Whilst you're still getting bit, you need to climb out and you need to stay out. That's how it works. That's a very applicable metaphor here. And the other thing was, oh yeah, can I still heal? I already said that. Right. I know that I do. Right. Just wanted to see the time. Okay. Florian Weinhold here. Let's wrap this up. I hope this helped you. If it is useful in any way, if you think it is useful for other people, share it, like, and if it addresses you personally or in your professional life, then subscribe. There will be more videos like this. They are getting shorter. They are getting more professional. I will sooner or later you will see me in never with a tie, I hope. But yes, so subscribe, please. Hit the like button. Florian Meinhold, former abuse victim turned SKP turned survivor, and then I healed myself, and now I'm a happy camper, and I love to help. And if you want, join me on Facebook. It's a great way to go forward. So take care, have a good day, and stay cool, stay safe.